We live in a world that seems loud, divided, and exhausted. You scroll through your feed and see anger. You turn on the news and see conflict. You walk through your day assuming everyone else is too busy, too self-absorbed, too far gone to care. And somewhere along the way, you stop believing in people. Not consciously, not with a dramatic declaration, but quietly, incrementally. You stop expecting others to do the right thing. You stop expecting kindness. You start to believe that maybe you're the only one who still wants the world to be softer, more generous, more decent. But what if I told you that story, that assumption, isn't true? What if the problem isn't people's hearts, but our perception of them? There's a term in sociology, pluralistic ignorance. It means thinking you're alone in caring, when in reality, others feel the same. They're just waiting for someone else to go first. And this right here, might be the most tragic myth of modern life. That nobody cares. That empathy is rare. That the good ones are gone. But every now and then, someone challenges that myth. Not on purpose, not as a hero, but because they saw something that made them feel like they couldn't stay silent. That's what happened to DJ Bracken. He was just a guy on his lunch break, scrolling headlines, when he saw a number, $2.8 million in school lunch debt across his state. And instead of being paralyzed by the size of it, he made a phone call. Asked about one school. He found out their entire debt was $835. So he wrote a check, cleared the balance, and then he wrote an essay about it. But here's the part that matters. He didn't expect anyone to care. He assumed his story would fade into the background noise. A couple of sympathetic comments, maybe a few retweets, because that's the script we've all been given. Caring is quaint, generosity is naive, and strangers don't help strangers. But this time, something unexpected happened. Strangers read his story, and they didn't look away. They didn't scroll past. They donated. They asked how they could help. They paid off the debt for not just one school, but 12. And in that moment, DJ and everyone watching learned something radical. People care. They just need a reason to believe they're not alone. This is not a story about school lunch debt. This is not about one man or one check. This is about the myth that we're all in this alone, and how wrong that myth really is. The truth is, we're closer to change than we think. We're surrounded by people who are just as tired of the cruelty, just as desperate for something softer, just as ready to help. But no one wants to be the only one. So we wait, and we doubt, and we assume that the silence means apathy, when it really just means hesitation. What DJ did wasn't revolutionary. He didn't launch a campaign. He didn't build an app. He didn't make a speech. He just took one small action. And that was enough to signal to hundreds of others, you're not alone. You're not crazy. You're not the only one who cares. And when that signal was sent, people came out of the woodwork because they'd been waiting, wishing, wondering if it would ever be okay to care out loud again. We talk about systems a lot. Broken systems, cold systems, cruel systems. And it's true. There are systems that punish poverty, that turn children into budget items, that demand paperwork before they offer compassion. But systems are just stories, made durable by the belief that they can't be changed. And when people start rewriting those stories, even in small ways, the systems begin to shake. That's what happened here. One man rewrote the script, and suddenly, so did hundreds of others. And then a bill passed, and then laws changed. But maybe the most powerful shift wasn't legislative. Maybe it was internal. A man who thought he was alone in caring suddenly realized he wasn't. And if he wasn't, maybe we aren't either. So here's the real story. Not about DJ Bracken, but about you and me and all of us who have quietly wondered if it even matters to care anymore. It does. It always has. And we are so much closer to tipping the scales than we realize. We're not missing kindness. We're just missing permission. Permission to act, to go first, to say, I'll help. So let this be that permission. Not to fix everything, but to fix one thing, to make one call, to ask one question, to write one check. Because sometimes that's all it takes. Not to save the world, but to remind the world that it's still worth saving. You are not alone. And neither is your kindness. It's waiting to be seen, to be echoed, to be amplified. And the moment you act, you might just realize what DJ did. That people are good, that strangers can be beautiful, that this world still has hope, and we're closer to it than we think.